what's your plan? Right now, Social Security and Medicare are in serious financial difficulty. What's your plan to make those programs viable for a much longer period of time?
We know that within as soon as 15 years, Social Security will no longer be able to afford to pay 100% of its obligation to every working American who paid into Social Security throughout their lifetimes. And so we have some choices before us. We can, as some have argued, after this $2 trillion tax cut at a time of $21 trillion in national debt, that we need what they call entitlement reform, which means reneging on our commitment to one another and not fulfilling our obligations to those working Americans, or, as I have chosen to do, hopefully with your blessing, joined a bill called the Social Security 2100 Act, which raises the arbitrary cap upon which you pay Social Security tax on your income from $120,000 much higher, so that the wealthiest among us are paying their fair share to ensure the viability of the Social Security Trust Fund into the next century. That's what we need to do. Thank you.
All right, this is my last question. Outside of electing more Democrats, what can we do here in our state and across the country to make districting more fair? No more gerrymandered districts.
Good point. I know you know this because you asked the question, but I just still is mind-blowing to say this out loud, but in our country, given 1776, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution that followed within the next 10 years, and everything that has succeeded it, as more and more people have had a chance to participate in their democracy and vote, and we've widened the franchise, you still have a system, and maybe now worse than ever in Texas especially, where members of Congress are choosing their voters instead of the other way around, literally getting behind closed doors. Maybe the room is not smoke-filled anymore in 2018, but people are literally drawing these ridiculous districts that have no bearing on reality or our experiences in day-to-day life. And I know this from visiting these 254 counties of Texas. We'll be in places like Pittsburgh, Texas, or Chris, I don't know if you can remember the place we had maybe all of 12 people. Was this in Atlanta? In Atlanta, Texas, we had like 12, 15 people show up. And they were not showing up for the candidate for United States Senate. They were showing up because they have been districted 2 hours away from where their member of Congress spends all his time. They're just this appendage that for all intents and purposes doesn't matter to anyone. So no one shows up, no one takes them into account. They are effectively forgotten, and they wanted to share with someone who's in a position of public trust as a member of Congress right now what's on their mind. They wanted some answers from their government, and I was lucky enough to show up and do my best to try to provide them. So when we have citizen-led redistricting commissions, no politicians, myself included, allowed, and draw districts that include everyone, including those who've been marginalized and pushed out of districts based on race and ethnicity, we're going to go from being 49th in voter turnout in the country to being number 1, which is where Texas should be, which is where we should always be. So that's what I want to do when it comes to redistricting, making sure citizens, not politicians, lead the way. All right, Cynthia, I think you are going to organize a large group picture. Where did Cynthia go?